President-elect Donald Trump plans to use extreme vetting of U.S.-bound immigrants, but the Washington Post suggesting that's a waste of time, writing this: Americans deserve to know that those entering the country have been screened carefully, but it will be difficult for Mr. Trump to fashion an even more muscular inspection and monitoring regimen without subjecting visitors and immigrants to outright religious profiling. Well, here to weigh in, former FBI Special Agent and counter-terror expert Tim Clemente. Tim, thanks for joining us this morning. So the Washington Post is saying we can't do more than we're already doing. Are they right?
Absolutely not. You can always do more, because it's not possible for us to know what we don't know in this regard. And you just had a story on 30 seconds ago about fraud in the food stamp system. Fraud occurs everywhere. I mean, you have identity fraud within the United States. We have the greatest databases that exist anywhere on the planet to track who people are and to identify them. And yet, beside that fact, you also have people that are able to steal your and my identity and pretend they're us, get loans, buy cars, get credit cards, steal things. So if somebody can steal the identity of you or I easily and do something within this country, how much easier it is for them to be from a third world country where there are literally no databases and take the identity of another person and come to the United States. If I can give you one quick anecdotal story, I was actually in a cab last week talking to my cab driver, and this individual had come from Pakistan 30 years ago, and it was during the Ronald Reagan amnesty program years, and he was in a rural village in Pakistan, heard about this program, got contacted by an individual that would be able to help him once he got to the United States. He was able to buy a false passport with his real picture on it, came to the United States illegally on a flight on a visa that was obtained under an illegal false name. Once he got in the United States, he contacted a man who owned a farm in California. That individual fraudulently wrote a letter for him saying that this guy had been a farm worker for the last 6 months, and then he used that to then get amnesty under the Reagan program, and then eventually became a United States citizen. Now, he did it not for illicit purposes. He wanted to be able to feed his family and send money back to people in Pakistan, but he was able to game the system. Today, it's that much easier to do that.
Absolutely, and that's what I want to ask, is what's the default? If someone shows up with shady paperwork or no paperwork, is the default to let them in or to give them deference, or is it to say, nope, until you come with something that looks legitimate or is legitimate, we're not letting you in?
No, the default system is if these people appear to be legitimate refugees or asylum seekers, and let's first define those two. A refugee is somebody that outside the United States borders or away from our ports of entry is applying to come to the United States as a refugee. An asylum seeker is somebody who is either already here or at a port of entry to the United States. So they're the same basic program, but we consider them as two different types of entries. So when somebody comes here to the southern border of the United States or seeks through the United Nations refugee programs to come to the United States, all they have to say is, I'm facing persecution because of my heritage, my nationality, my clan of origin, or my political affiliations, or the social group I belong to. Those are the actual parameters that we use. And so if an individual is fleeing a war-torn area of Syria and says, I have no possessions but the shirt on my back, I don't have any identification, but I'm from this village, it was destroyed, I have no way to go back there because I would be persecuted, we cannot in any effective way determine who they really are, other than to interview them extensively if they have family members interview them.
There's a lot of holes in the process, so very briefly, very much time. What is the biggest single step that the president-elect could take to move closer to extreme vetting?
I think what he has to do is look at whether it really helps these people to bring them to the United States borders, or to possibly do more to help them within other third-party regions. Like in Georgia, you have a lot of Syrian refugees. Maybe we can help them better save their own countries and stay close to their borders and make it safe enough for them to go back. Because it's not always easy for them when they come to a country like America's. It's such a culture shock, and it's not easy for Americans.
Absolutely. Tim Clemente, thanks for your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.